Hey guys, welcome to Stampin' with Alicia. This is day 2 of my Beautiful You mini series. Here is the stamp set. It's a lovely stamp set that has some gorgeous sayings. And today we will be using the watercolor pencils, which are back in stock. Just a reminder, if you spend $50, you do receive a free item out of the Celebration catalog. And February 21st, 3 additional items will be released. So you have a stamp set, some gorgeous glimmer paper, which I have all these 3 and I will be featuring them either near release day or on release day. I haven't decided. And then you get this medallion stamp set that you can choose from. So this will be in addition to what is in the Celebration catalog. Now if you do place an order of 150 or less, use the hostess code that is below. If your order is over 150, you are the hostess, so you will receive the benefits. So here is the stamp set we're going to be using. It comes in 2 cases. They are in cling or wood block, I believe. Yes, I think I said that yesterday. Hello. So cling mount and wood block. So there are those 2. And today we're going to be using this one. She's dancing, and this sentiment, I can't even read. Life may not be the party we had hoped for, but while we're here, we might as well dance. I'm at a weird angle trying to read that. So that is the stamp set. Here is the inspiration card. I keep saying inspiration card. It is my sample card. Here's the sample card we're going to be using. We're going to be doing some ink smooshing and using the watercolor pencils, which are right here. Here are all the colors you get in the watercolor pencils. And here they are. Just really nice. We're only going to be using probably 1 color today, but I will have more videos showcasing these watercolor pencils. But we're going to be doing some ink smooshing, and hopefully, this was my 3rd try, and even so I got some green ink mixed in, but I went with it. That's okay. That's kind of the freedom of ink smooshing watercoloring, is that it's very forgiving. And most of the time, things look okay when you do watercoloring and things like that. So, here is the sample card. Products you will need today are obviously the watercolor pencils, some watercolor cardstock. I have 2 pieces just in case I mess up. So, we're only going to need 1. I have my card base. I have it a top folding, so it is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. Then I have a big old stamp block. If you don't have a stamp block, you can use, I could actually use my laminated sheet here, or any kind of silicone or slick mat that you do watercoloring on. That will work. Colors that we'll be using today are basic black, so saffron, pink pirouette, and wild wasabi. My card I'm going to create today is going to be pretty similar to the one, my sample card that I showed you. And then you will need an ink spritzer and your aqua painter. Also, I'm going to bring back in the metallic enamel shapes. We're going to be using the silver ones. What I've noticed about these is that they're very low profile. So if you have to mail a card and you want to send a card that has some embellishments on it, these would be great because the profile is very low and you can still have that sparkle that a rhinestone would bring or something. You will also need a spritz bottle to spritz your ink once it is on the acrylic block. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so in my sample card, my green ran all over into my pink, and you can't even tell I used So Saffron. So I'm going to use very little green, and when I lift my card, I'm going to try a different way so it doesn't run. So let's start with our So Saffron, and I'm just going to take my acrylic block and dab. Now, my acrylic block is obviously a lot bigger than my card, so I'm just going to dab it. I want more So Saffron and pink pirouette than I do wild wasabi. I'm going to take the pink pirouette, go ahead and dab that. And then the wild wasabi. And literally that's all, maybe a dot right there. That's all I'm going to add. Then I want to take my ink spritzer. I'm sorry. My mini mister, or whatever you call it. And go ahead and spray the ink. Now with the green, I had those harsh lines. I just want to make sure those are gone. Okay. So I'm going to take my piece of watercolor paper, and I'm using the textured side. And I'm going to lay it down, but I'm going to go more to the top because, like I said, I want very little green since that green seems to be pretty overpowering. So I'm just going to lay it here and then run my hand across it. I think this is going to turn out great. Let's hope. Now, oops, when I had taken it off, I went like this, so all the green slid down. I'm going to try it just from the side, so if it does go down, it rolls on itself. I'm going to take a paper towel quickly. Now, I have some white spots. I really don't want any white spots, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab it in the color I want. Dab it off a little. There we go. So I've gone ahead and used my heat gun to dry it. Now, whenever your paper is really wet, it will warp like this. Your heat gun helps to kind of flatten it out a little bit, even though I have a little warping here. But that's okay. So, as you can tell, the different colors, I do like this one because the green, you just have a hint of green. It didn't kind of overpower the sky and the pink area. But use it however you like, and remember that each card you make is going to look totally different. So that's kind of the fun in ink smooshing and watercoloring. All right, so let's go ahead and ink up my image and sentiment using basic black. Now, this is not a foam ink pad, the basic black. So I'm just going to kind of twist and then tap just to get good coverage. Whereas, you know, your regular ink pads, you just tap real lightly and the coverage is usually pretty awesome. So I think with her, I'm going to go a little bit lower than I did on the other card. Go ahead and stamp that. Okay. Now, if you notice right here, I have a little black spot because when I was smushing my ink pad down, I hit the edge of the rubber. So just be careful. Nobody will notice that that's not part of the stamp. All right, go ahead and ink up my sentiment. Make sure I don't make the same mistake. And I liked placing the sentiment towards the top corner. Okay, for this card, I think I'm going to use Calypso Coral. I think that'll go well with the color combo in the ink smooshing. So what I want to do is I want my aqua painter and your pencil. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start coloring the edges. And you can do this however you want. Let me zoom in. These pencils, at least for me, it takes a little trial and error. I really have to kind of work with them, practice with them to get used to them. So I'm just going to take the hat and just kind of color where I think the shading would be. And then I want to take my aqua painter and just kind of take out some of the water to make sure it's clean and just kind of spread out the ink. If it's not dark enough, add more. Sometimes I like to dab it and then go back because I don't want to stick my pencil into a puddle of water. Go back and add some more color. And then just spread that out. And then once it dries, you can always go back in and make it darker. So I just follow the lines. Maybe under her hair there would be a shadow. Now if you want the color to stick out more, like this, I feel like really sticks out, obviously you can choose a darker color or just continue going over it with this color. I've gone ahead and dried my card, and I'm going to keep mine really clean and simple. So I'm just going to take my card base and I'm going to adhere it to my card. Now if you want to adhere it flat, you can use tear and tape, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I have mine a little raised with dimensionals. This one I think I'm going to adhere flat. Now with watercolor paper, you want to use your, actually let's use my, no, I'm going to use tear and tape. You use tear and tape or fast fuse because there is a little warping. So I want coverage on from corner to corner. Okay, so let's go ahead and use the tear and tape. I want to make sure I get to the corner. Go ahead and adhere this down. And instead of using the silver metallic shape, I think I'm going to use the gold. And there we go. So there is day 2, 2 really pretty cards. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Tomorrow we will be using obviously the same stamp set. It'll be our last day, and we're going to be using this lady, and we're going to do some paper piercing. That's the plan, at least. So if you are interested in any of the products, they will be listed below. If you have any questions, let me know. And remember, if you do place an order under 150, please remember to use the HOSTESS code. That helps me get products to make these videos, as well as buying supplies for the card club for next month. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye.